welcome to the Unfriendly Black Hotties, the podcast where we don't apologize for taking up space, speaking our truth, or getting a little nasty. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty with your favorite Black femmes that have too much to say and zero time for respectability politics. Thank you, you're most kind. Now, around here, we're soft and sharp, hot and friendly, depending on the day. And this episode is one that we know is very much needed. So today, we're breaking down intersectionality, community, accountability, and those three eyelashes that we know and loathe. Well, y'all know who you are, but we'll save it for later.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Now, we'll also cover how imperative it is to cultivate the community you need to get by. Now, before we get into it, meet today's hotties. We all know her. We all love her. Go ahead and round of applause for Cheeks.
Dang. I hope it's sunny where you guys are. Spring is sprung, people.
That's right. And don't forget, sunny is a state of mind. So look out beside your window. Yep. Look inward.
True.
Okay. Up next is Miss Regina Starr.
Hi.
How you been? Every time you do it, it's so cute. Hi.
She's looking real regal. You guys can't see her. She's looking real regal today.
I brought the cleanly, sunny vibes with me.
Yeah.
See, keep it in your pocket. You ain't got to worry.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that is now. I guess that's just me. Yeah, whips. So y'all know us, y'all love us, but just in case you're new around here, make sure to follow us on all social medias. So where are we at these days, y'all?
We're on Instagram, Blue Sky, YouTube, and Substack. We're everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah. And wherever you get your podcast, we can't tell you what to do. We just ask that you listen.
Yeah. Listen and like.
Yeah.
And tell a friend.
And share the shit. Because, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Now, speaking of sharing, we got to get into why this topic matters. Okay. So again, in case I didn't make it clear, we're talking about the basics of intersectionality, community, and accountability. If you haven't been outside or you haven't been on your phone, then you already know the state of the world right now. It's a mess. Everything on fire. And if we haven't learned anything by now, individualism and performative allyships have consistently shown us time and time again that when it comes to building strong and stable communities, ones that uplift and serve everyone, intersectionality is at the heart of them. So this topic is of very high importance. And I ain't pulling no punches. Listen, y'all getting it straight from the hip. I ain't had a blunt in a minute, so it's going to come out blunt.
Keep it real, babe.
I'm not softening no edges, okay?
It's going to be a blunt full of some good shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Y'all need this hit more than y'all realize. So, and we're also going
That was supposed to be an explosion sound. I don't know.
I was like, that was a lukewarm explosion. It sounded like
lukewarm. I'm sorry, Cameron.
Somebody was driving off from the sunset.
Motherfucker who did Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2 and Bad Boys 3 and Bad Boys for Life. I don't know this guy.
He is known for doing some pretty dope explosions.
Big explosion. Independence Day. We'll put his name on the thing. It's just
basically it was the summer of Will Smith for like many years.
Several summers during our youth.
Yes. The man, he held us down. Yeah. I don't like to give too much praise to men, but you know, he did what he had to do to get the job done. So
Fresh Prince, man. He's the Fresh Prince.
Well, anyhow, speaking of fresh, we will be giving y'all some definitions throughout this episode, so keep your ears perked for that. But first up, we got to talk about what is intersectionality. What is it? Why is it important? And before I get into that, thanks, Cheeks, for providing us all the definitions.
The Merriam-Webster fiend herself.
I love that.
I have a Merriam-Webster sweater. Have I told you guys this?
No.
I bought it from their merch store.
But
it says
I get it.
Webster. I'm a nerd, so thank you. And if you're not following their Instagram, we know that's a sign that you don't read. So
And
if you do read, follow
Regina
them.
just said it, like Merriam-Webster fiend. That kind of signifies that the fact that you have a sweater.
I have a couple of tisms. Words are one of my tisms. So
and it's hot.
There.
And
yeah, Merriam-Webster. Look, if they don't have it, you don't need it.
I love that for you. So I'm gonna just say, intersectionality is the opposite of individualism. You can fight with me in the chats all you want, but just know that I'm right, you're wrong, and that's your problem, and you need to fix that before you come open your mouth to talk to me. So now, who would like to give the definition to intersectionality? I can't even speak now. I can feel my face like I'm trying to keep it together.
I think that one's all you. You got to give the.
That was on me. Okay.
Yep.
See,
can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Hey.
Can you feel it?
I just had to be sure, because sometimes I get ahead of myself and they be like, where were you just now? And I was like, oh, you didn't know? Okay.
Sure, man. It's like a paradise lost. You know what I'm saying? Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. We're just here to drop knowledge.
That's it. Well, we'll try to drop it in a way that you
know
can understand it.
A little Milton for you hoes. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe I need to become a Merriam-Webster fiend, so I can just come up like that.
Maybe we're all missing a gene.
Enriching your life, baby. Enriching your life.
I need it. So intersectionality, for those of you who don't know, it was coined by a Black woman, and it holds a special place in my heart for that reason alone, because we always on the scene, even when y'all don't want us to be. But you know what? I digress. So, intersectionality in social theory is the interaction and cumulative effects of multiple forms of discrimination affecting the daily lives of individuals, particularly women of color. If I need to read that again, y'all just play it back. The term also refers more broadly to an intellectual framework for understanding how various aspects of individual identity, including race, gender, social class, and sexuality, interact to create unique experiences of privilege or oppression. So race, gender, social class, sexuality, those are intersections, just to be clear, because y'all using this word wrong and it's starting to piss me and my homegirls off.
I'm a little pissed.
Just a little.
Yeah, I would say I'm tired of being pissed, but it's just a state of mind at this point.
Right. At this point.
I'm in a perpetual state of being pissed off at this
point. The Black feminist rage is real, people.
Oh yeah.
Listen, it's right up there with Black fatigue.
Which y'all would be so Black fatigue. Well, the Blacks are fatigued. Okay. We're tired of y'all.
We're also pissed the fuck off. So
all the way.
We're mad as hell and we can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
And that's because y'all don't read and don't know the definition of
reading is fundamental. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. We've been saying this for generations.
We've been saying this since episode
1. And y'all have been trying, people have been trying to kill us ever since. So let's get back to it.
And that brings us to the event. I mean, let's pick the event du jour, because there are tons of events where we are, for what good reason we are pissed. Y'all forever getting on a TikTok or the Instagram or Facebook, and y'all reminding us why individualism is just harmful to everyone. So that's why we're covering intersectionality today, because it's not just one of y'all, it's all of y'all. So what are the events that make actionable items come to fruition? Listening is obviously like a prerequisite to this. So if you're already listening to the podcast, guess what? You are already taking a step in the right direction.
You're taking a great step.
Listen, one giant leap.
for womankind.
Yes.
For Black womankind.
Yeah. So what else? What other actionable items come to mind when y'all think of how people can start getting their shit together?
Honest reflections upon what they know. And what they need to unlearn. I think all of us, and this is a thread we pull throughout each episode here at the table.
Every single one.
Is that there are always things all of us, regardless of our upbringing or our racial identification, that we need to unlearn to grow and develop. It's more, you have to do more than acknowledge it. You have to rectify what you need to accept that the way I understood some shit is not the way I understood some shit, first of all. Second of all, not everyone has seen it through my eyes that way.
For example, I was raised that way.
Yeah. So saying that's how I was brought up, I was raised that way. That's valid because that's your experience, and we can't shortchange people's experiences. However, shit changes. Like the seasons, fashion trends, shit changes. So I think you also have to grow with the times. And I think it's really imperative not to, and we're going to get to this when we talk about community, but, you know, not every community is a healthy one. So just because it's, you know, you're finding a bunch of like-minded people, it doesn't necessarily mean they're right or wrong. It just means y'all agree on something. So how does that community impact others? How does it impact you? Why do you want to join that community? And you know, how do you benefit? So I think it's just
honest with yourself. Yeah, we'll get into that again. Honesty and listening; those are actionable steps. To touch back
empathy.
Empathy. But it's hard when people don't even have the empathy to give to themselves, much less other people. You know,
I feel like it's really it holds hands with listening, the way that Trisha beautifully explained listening as one of the tenets. But I feel like empathy holds hands with listening. If you're listening and you're taking great care to actually let other people's perspectives in by opening your heart, opening your eyes, opening your ears, then you're definitely also making way for, with that open heart and with those open ears and eyes, you're open to understand and empathize with the experiences of another person or a group of people.
Another very good skill that y'all need, we already talked about this just a few minutes ago, reading. It's fundamental and it does build empathy. So yeah, that's why when y'all don't read, I get annoyed because that tells me everything.
Yeah.
Like take a look. It's in a book.
I think
reading also, rainbow.
Asking questions. I just feel like, you know, it doesn't hurt. I don't know.
It doesn't hurt. We'll get to that because
there's no such thing as it goes back to what my mama always told me. There's no such thing as a stupid question. It's stupid not to ask if you want the answer. But it's also stupid not to accept the answer just because you don't like it.
Right.
Yeah. It's like people who want to create art, and so they turn to generative AI because that to them is creating art. But baby, you know that's not art. You know it's not. But you know what? I'm gonna keep it moving. How do some bad actors? Because baby, we'll be here all day in a fortnight if I get into how I feel about people using generative AI art.
Nope.
Y'all out here producing slop. Moving on. I said what I said.
Boo this man. It's always a man. So
always. And now, how do some bad actors or agents of chaos impact the larger work? I just touched on generative AI users because y'all are not creating art, but that's another topic for another time. We're going to keep it on task.
Stay focused.
I'm trying because there's so many bad out there. I just can't focus. But we already talked about not reading.
Yeah, we did. And we did talk about the word individualism was brought up, but yes, I think we doubled down on that just a little.
Yeah.
If you're thinking too much about, if you're being me-centered or I-centered, if you're using the word I or the word me too much, you are not thinking about the collective. You are not thinking about collective uplift. So by default, you are an agent of chaos.
Here, you are upholding the system. Stay on task. See, that's why we need other people on here. Regina, thank you for being the hottie today because you listen.
I don't know how to We do it some way. I don't know.
I know, whatever y'all kids are doing with y'all fingers, I'm just glad you're keeping them out of.
All I know is golf clap, golf clap. I'm very
golf clap, golf clap. Yeah,
golf clap.
There you go.
Yeah. Very men at work.
Yes, I love that agent of chaos. I like that expression.
I love that word or that term. Yeah.
Yeah, agent of chaos.
It encompasses every person who's against moving forward.
I'm adding this commercialist.
No, it really does, because when I get having self-preservation and wanting to save yourself, but you can save yourself and still be wrong and still end up by yourself, because that's what happens. You go for self and you end up by yourself, and that's not going to do you any good in the long run. Like you're prolonging your misery.
Yeah, and I think we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it more when we talk about community, but that you cannot have one without the other. You can't have you can't have community with individualism. That's if with that sense of individualism, if that makes any sense.
If a community is centered around an individual, do we know what we call that game?
Cult. We do.
A cult.
It's a
Jamestown.
MAGA.
Cheese.
I said that too quickly.
Whew. But you weren't
wrong.
Jonestown's
a good the Waco shit. FLDS.
Pick one. You will not
that tribe of Black people in the Scottish forest. Have y'all seen this? Have you heard about
what?
this?
You know what?
There's like a tribe of wild Africans in the Scottish forests that just say that's where they're from, so they live there. But it's like an unincorporated. Anyway, this is not the community we're talking about.
Yeah, we're gonna get you. You will have to bring that back, because
I'm gonna send a link. Hold on. So
my geek alert. My geek alert is ringing. Yes, please.
That's going to be a great.
My geek alert though. You literally set off the alarm, because now I was
going to say I have so much to learn.
I have questions.
I have questions.
And the big one, so many. Why? That's probably my number one question today. Is why? So let's talk about community. We've already talked about it a little bit today, but really, why community? Why now? What is?
We got to get a definition first.
All right. Well, roll it out. Roll it out, man.
Right now. Okay.
Roll it out, hottie.
So, Merriam-Webster, our good friend Trisha's BFF, Merriam-Webster says that community is a unified body of individuals, such as, I'm just going to give a few wonderful examples that Merriam laid out. A, people with common interests living in a particular area. Broadly, the area itself. B, a group of people with a common characteristic or interest living together within a larger society. C, a body of persons of common and especially professional interest scattered through a larger society. D, a body of persons or nations having a common history or common social, economic, and political interests. E, a group linked by a common policy. So I'm hearing the word common a lot, hearing the word unified. I think we got the gist there. Community.
Just in case y'all need a visual. Like, say, for instance, you at an event and you see somebody who's wearing something that you only seen in your own neighborhood, and you be like, yo, where are you from? And they go, oh, yo, I'm from the Boogie Down Bronx. Okay, guess what? You two have in common now.
Is that how they talk from the Boogie Down Bronx?
I don't think that is. I think that's just a really poor... That's a really poor example, but I needed to dig deep for that.
Yo, son.
Yeah, son.
I can't.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm from the South.
Like, that's how you know that person is within that body of area that you grew up in. They understand certain terms that are used within the area, the neighborhood that you grew in. That is giving you a sense of community. That's why y'all can now connect and talk more on a certain level.
Also, in my head, all Black people from New York City or any of the boroughs sounds like the Locks. They sound like Jada Pinkett.
Yes.
And they're from Yonkers, which isn't even a fucking borough. Anyway, so
you gotta get all of New York on your back with these comments.
Listen, I accept it.
I love the Locks. So I mean, if that's representative, they don't sound all like Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Y'all can come for me. Y'all can come for me in the comments. I know I did y'all dirty with the example, but
y'all talk about people from the South. talk about
we could, because my still say lily dilly. So
what is lily dilly? That don't even sound right.
It's a great summer treat made of Kool-Aid, and you put it in a styro cup and you put it in the freezer, and you
soak a pickle in it. I like a pickle.
I mean, if you're feeling adventurous, you can put a dilly in it if you want, but it's
you said lily dilly.
I know what I said.
A form of oral sex, or
it's funny you should mention that,
because it's a sweet treat.
I just wrote a scene alluding to that, but
because it feels like something someone would do with their mouth on the.
It sounds like
they are.
Well, it sounded like female. It sounded like female masturbation.
Thank you for coming from my childhood, but literally the corner store lady. Again, I'm a '90s baby, so we had corner store ladies. They were
the candy lady.
Yeah, they were the cornerstone of the community, and you would go to her house, and this was back then when you can get them for $0.25. I know y'all probably know
the front side of her house was for the kids and families. Exactly. The back side of the house was the hole in the wall for the big
where you go and get your treat. And that is what a lily dilly is, everyone. You literally make some bomb ass Kool-Aid, pour a little bit in some Star cups, put those Star cups in the freezer, and in about 2 or 3 hours, you have a very nice sweet frozen treat.
Nice.
Can you put a lily dilly on the member of someone you love and then
suck it off
intimately, and then that is also a lily
if they are into cold
dilly.
Play, hey, if they're into temperature play, why not?
Who's not into cold play? In my place, in my place.
How far back in time was this? Because
for me, it was like the early 90s.
Okay.
That is I feel like I heard that in fried green tomatoes.
This was back in the day when you can get little Debbie snack cakes for $0.25.
Oh, the good old days. And they're bigger than the ones that
nowadays.
Man.
I don't know what y'all did to little Debbie's, because y'all just
She's Big Deborah.
I'm telling you, she got a second mortgage, 2 badass kids, and an ex-husband.
No, she's got at least 6, because when you got that much cake at Little Debbie, you're gonna have more than 2 kids. That's a lot of cake.
I'm telling you,
that's a lot of cake.
And she finally quit smoking and joined the gym. She is not to be messed with.
A lot of oatmeal cream pies. You feel me?
Y'all get on my nerves. I can't.
Okay, moving on.
Yes, but that is a sense of community. When you can talk to people about specific things that you encountered within your life, and that makes you comfortable. We get it. It makes you comfortable to have that. And there's things that you don't have to explain within the community. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't have a community that's going to be safe. You can't have a community where you're comfortable and safe. No. When you know your community needs to be checked, you need to be able to know that you can check them without them causing you harm.
Right.
So how can you cultivate a community without inclusivity?
That you can't cultivate community without inclusivity, because I just feel like community by definition is there's people of a common thread, of a common society, and I just feel like it will be all kinds of people. It will include several different people that are coming from all walks of life, and I just feel like it becomes way too one note, monotonous, doesn't reflect the best aspects of society if it's just one group of people, one type of people.
And if you're picturing a group of people right now in your mind that fit the narrative that Regina just described, you onto something, and you need to go down that rabbit hole. I ain't gonna say nothing else. That is the only kindness I'm gonna give y'all today. I ain't gonna say nothing else, but I'm gonna tell you, implore on that.
So, team, what does it feel like when you ultimately feel that you are part of a community? Like, what is the feeling that you get in your chest personally, individually, when you feel like this feels like community to me?
It's that feeling that you get to breathe. Like when it's been a while, when you feel like you haven't really let out in there. I'm not saying like waiting to exhale, but it's pretty damn close.
Everyone falls in love sometimes.
Shoot.
Sometimes it's a wrong.
Shoot.
Sometimes it's a right. For every man. Someone must fail. You found a point where we will exhale. Yeah. Say shoot.
Listen, Babyface the Winnie did what needed to be done.
I don't know why you trigger me. You trigger me.
So sorry.
I'm not.
I thought Trisha was gonna answer it. She busted out with the soundtrack.
No, it makes you feel like that. It makes you feel warm on the inside. Yeah. Like
so
I think to Whip's point, it makes you feel like you don't have to pretend to be someone else. You can be yourself, and it's accepted.
Yeah,
it's just fine. It's like being a Girl Scout, the cool troop. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just like you feel like these are all people you can trust, and you can be yourself, and you can talk, and you can have different ideals and shit, but they're respectful enough to listen and give their take, and y'all can actually talk about it. Stop falling out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I fully get why you started the soundtrack, because exhale is the first thing that I thought of too. Like I thought you just get to let out a breath. You get to really unclench, because you know how in general Black women, us in this space, and in any other space that we inhabit, there's always this feeling of clenching. There's always this feeling of like tension. We're
always coiled.
We're always we're heightened. Like our tensions are heightened, and I feel like when you're in a space, a community space, or a space that feels like community to you, exhale is that first word that I think of. You can breathe deeply. You can let out that breath that you've been probably holding. You can stop your head can stop swiveling even just for a moment, and you can be with people who share your mindset, or at least who like see you for who you are, value you for who you are, and make you feel welcomed for who you are.
Yes, you can relax. You're in a space that not only agrees with you, but will also gently, to an extent, like really have those discourse, those hard conversations with, and that at the end of it all, it's for the greater good. It's not just for like one person or one system.
And if we're going to tie in what we were talking about before with intersectionality, it's folks who will end up listening to you, who will take that time to understand and empathize. That those kinds of things will naturally occur. And allow for you to exhale, allow for you to be you want to be in those spaces. I think making space for any person's individuality or any person's whole personhood in those kinds of spaces is what makes a community, what makes it true community.
And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I have to say I think that's one of the number one reasons why people of all diaspora, like people of all forms, they want Black women in their communities, but what they don't want is what comes with having Black women in their communities.
Which is influence, direction, inspiration.
We're gonna hold you accountable every single time.
Right.
And they don't like that part. They want you there. They want you to uplift. They want to drain you of that natural giving, caring resource that you have, that you naturally have within community, but they don't want you to hold them accountable. And some people have a problem with holding themselves accountable.
A perfect example of this is like Lupita Nyong'o playing Helen of Troy in Homeboy's Odyssey that's coming up with Matt Damon.
Y'all need to accept that y'all men are attracted to us. Y'all
European. And this is what I get with Diesel. I asked the first thing I asked my boyfriend is like, name a celebrity you find as attractive. He said, Lupita. I was like, what? I was like, all right, then that's cool. I'm all right with that. I can accept that because she is beautiful.
She's
gorgeous. But like, I think the fact that Helen of Troy is supposed to be like the face that launched 1,000 ships. Like European history would dictate that as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman, like they're blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus. People want to be seen as represented as a pillar to that community as well. Yeah. And so that's why, people that are fans of those stories, they are hung up on, this would be a white person.
Them the same people that got hung up over, what was it for Hermione?
The Little Mermaid?
A Black British actress that was cast
that was playing Hermione on Broadway. Yep.
Yes. On Broadway, yeah.
Same people crying, sliding down the wall.
She was described as tan. But also, like in the Fourth Wing, I read those first before I found out about Rebecca Yarros, but the main guy in that, the MMC in that, is described as like tawny skin.
Yeah,
that's not a white boy, dog.
Like, y'all need to accept that.
That he's at least Caribbean. He's at least Mediterranean at best.
It goes back so far. These are the same people that swear up and down that Jesus is white. So I mean, what more can we expect?
I even say to my white boyfriend, please, Black Jesus. Please.
Make it make sense.
It don't. And that's why it won't.
He even says Black Jesus now, which is hilarious to me.
I would love to hear him say Black Jesus.
He does.
Just one time. One time for the one time.
Please, Black Jesus. And I said it to my mentor, who's a white lady. I was like, please, Black Jesus. And she said, oh, so you just mean Jesus? I was like, that's why I fuck with you.
Yeah. Don't bring it here, Karen.
Yeah. I love her. I love her. Shout out to my mentor.
I love that. But since I've already talked about accountability, let's just go ahead with the definition for accountability before we get into it any further, because the people need to know. Now, was that? I don't think I have the definition. We all have it because it's Merriam-Webster, but
I can read it real fast. I've got it up.
Okay.
It's a noun.
Just want it.
It's a noun. I have the app. You gotta get the app. It's a sentence noun. The quality or state of being accountable, especially an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's actions. Demanded more accountability from public officials. The quarterback did take accountability for his play, recognizing that it is an error that can't have happened at this level.
Now, ma'am, I appreciate you for having the app, but I'm working with a phone that I've had for 4 years.
No, you're good.
I can't put another app on this phone.
I've got news girl fingers.
I had to choose between Patreon and some very important apps, and
he did not answer my question.
Really? Okay, for y'all that don't know, quick update. We're trying to decide if somebody in my unholy trinity.
We're trying to figure out if Mark Bosa likes black chicks.
There you go.
Because,
and it's gonna kill the dream for me.
Like fat girls, that's fine. I just don't like guys.
Intersectionality of it all.
Yeah, it's the intersectionality. Like, do you like all fat women or just fat white women? Yeah, there is a difference.
Like, is pussy for you, or does it have to be a slice of?
It can't be all pink in the middle, dog.
Yeah,
and this is the accountability piece, right?
This is the part right here. Like, so you don't mind a piece of chocolate cake or no? Yeah. What is it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Nick Grizz did it a long time ago. He'll always be one of my favorites. Like, he's like, no, I like pulling on braids too. I'm like, I like that.
You know
like
what?
6'5",
pulling on braids too.
My dog. That's a
I'll bounce on it.
That is a big glass of whole milk, boy.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about.
Anyway, that's the accountability part. Example,
right?
A man that says he likes fat chicks. Well, okay, so you're talking to an audience of people. Where's the accountability of saying a fan asks you, all right, so is that just a preference? Like, what kind? Because I want to make sure I'm giving my money to somewhere I'm supported.
Yeah.
That's accountability.
There you go.
It is a lack of accountability when you see it and you like the other comments around you. When I know, I can see they're liked by author. Motherfucker, I know you saw me. So
yeah,
silence is deafening.
Silence.
So I make sure
it's loud.
my sister is
saying
her coins wisely, she's going to get off. I want to make sure he wants to get off.
And to be fair, I don't watch all his content for the purpose of getting off.
Would if I
do. I do appreciate it though, and it's just one of those things. Like you think you have allyship with somebody, and then they turn around and they give you attitude, which he has not done. He's just simply ignored the question, which is probably for the business. Yeah, the silence is Regina's right. The silence is loud, and I'm gonna have to accept that because I'm gonna be 10 toes down. Yeah. I don't want to.
When we say accountability, we say we mean 10 toes motherfucking down.
Unfortunately, that's true. So
maybe we'll tag him in this clip. Maybe we'll tag him in this clip and see if he answers.
Nah, not this one.
Fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
Listen, ma'am. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to show him grace. I'm saying this.
No, I would like to show him grace because he's fine, but I'm not going to show him grace.
I'm not showing nobody grace because they fine.
If he wouldn't
listen,
you know what I'm saying?
I am the finest motherfucker in this universe to me. Everybody else barely comes second. I'm not showing nobody grace because they look good. I look good too, bitch.
Period.
That's right.
Cute faces don't move me.
Period.
But I'm saying from a business standpoint, because maybe we might want to have him on the podcast, and I don't want him to get hostile.
Got it. You think I'm worried about a hostile white boy?
You should be. Do you not see them in the news? Do you not see them on the front news?
Look, they're not hostile to me.
Domestic terrorists, anyone?
Everybody else. That's why I like to have a crazy white boy on my team. It's not that they're crazy toward me. Someone's gonna be a white boy whisperer.
Crazy towards everybody.
I can't help. Crazy in my defense. In my defense.
First of all, he's not a crazy white boy. He is.
We don't know that. We don't know
in
that.
The UK.
Secondly, he could be lying.
Secondly, I am low key jealous that you have an emotional support white man.
Rachel Dolezal, you know what I'm saying? He could be lying. Just because he looked Brazilian, don't mean he is Brazilian.
So he looked Brazilian and he Portuguese and he speaks.
Don't matter.
Portuguese. Okay.
I haven't.
So the moral of the story.
He could have Duolingo. That's all I know. He could have Rosetta Stone.
Not Duolingo.
The moral of the story is stand 10 toes down.
Okay, I will stand 10 toes down. But again, I'm low key jealous
that white boys myself. I'm a fan of big white boys.
I do have a type.
I can't help it.
It's not
like it likes me back.
I like big boys that wear glasses and speak multiple languages and are husky and it curves a little. Pussy. That's my language.
Looks like he could, hip thrust my weight. I'm into that.
Yes, I'm so into that. And as much as it pains me to do it, I'm gonna hold myself accountable. And I'm gonna have
to. Community. This is community. We're in a community of friends that can talk about this shit. Like, see, this is a good example. See, we're giving you life lessons
right here. But can we get back to the emotional support white man thing? Because that's new to me. I didn't know that was possible.
It's like a 4-leaf clover situation.
Well, shit. I mean, I'm gonna have
that's
to look
me
into
Lucky
that.
Charms. It helps if they have it.
How do you vet that?
You ask on the first date where they were on January 6, 2021.
You know what? That's a good starting point.
That tells you what you need to know.
Especially
then you
if they
ask
have
them who they
time
voted
cards.
for.
Yeah, if they have time cards,
you can also ask,
provide.
How would you feel if Kamala Harris was president? And watch their face.
That's a good question.
Watch their face.
Mm-hmm. Or any woman for that matter.
Finish this sentence. My body.
But as a black woman, yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. How do you feel about reciprocal oral?
There you go.
Great.
What's your view on toys?
Yeah, are they friends or foes?
Or foes?
Do you have
Meanwhile, we have a whole podcast episode on this, by the way.
That's true.
Hey, I like it. My girl.
Hey.
I'm proud of you.
Let them know.
Proud of you.
Because that's they having to remind people.
This is community, guys.
This is community. Right here.
I'm missing you.
What are some ways that Oh.
That's the playlist this week. Is the
I'm telling you, it has to be.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
What a
question
for
the team though. What are some ways that you try to hold your friends, colleagues, partners accountable? I feel like we were talking about it a little bit for just the way that we do it for each other, as the example for whips. But what are some ways that y'all do it IRL?
Not me being a real live example.
I do it in real time. You know,
I ain't signed up to be a model.
See, there are different approaches.
That's true.
Like I have to have very clear understandings of how someone feels, so I'm not afraid to ask questions. So I also expect for people not to be afraid to ask questions of me.
Yeah.
And I guess how I find that accountable, how I handle that as far as accountability is, one, I am going to be honest, especially if I give a fuck. If I don't give a fuck about you, I'm not even going to engage, first of all. But especially in the community, I'm going to be honest because you're asking me, because we're a part of this little unit. I expect you to be honest in return.
And be direct.
And also, there's one, too. Yeah, be direct. I need clear understanding of how you feel. Be direct. That's two. And three, the only way you're going to get those first two things is if they're comfortable with you. So you have to be a person in a place of trust. I know one thing I always say is like, oh, this is a safe space. I'm a safe space. I want to mean that when I tell someone that.
Right.
See, that's the only way they're going to feel comfortable being in a situation. I struggled
so much with that because I didn't want to keep being a safe space for people where I didn't feel like I was a safe space for them. So have some disconcernment when it comes to people that you open yourself up to for these kind of conversations too, because for the longest time in college,
a good discernment. That was I think that goes back to when we were asking questions about like the actions that will bring intersectionality to fruition. Discernment is such a great word to define.
I didn't know it then, but I learned it. I had to learn it real fast because I was putting myself out there for people who I probably should have told kiss my ass to.
And that's what happens is that you find yourself wanting to believe in the communities you've kind of been sucked into or found yourself in, and then you end up betrayed, and that makes you very mistrustful. I think we touched on that. That's another thread that we kind of found throughout each episode, that there's always been something that made us not trust the situation we're in, and that makes us question our gut. So the next time we enter an experience like that, we're like, oh, well, I should keep myself at arm's length.
Yes.
Because I don't want the heartache of a community failing my best interest. I don't want that again. And that's only going to make me more bitter and more isolated and not open to experiences. So that's also really hard. So I think any community, you owe it to your own involvement. And that's where the individuality comes in. As an individual in a community, you owe it to the rest of the community to be the best version of yourself, and understand that everybody in that community is learning and growing and developing, and they do that on their own time. But you have to be open-minded to people's
I was an emotional lurker for the longest time because I got hurt that way, and it was like the first time I experienced it. So I kept myself on the outside of things, and I just absorbed things and like looked around, and it's like, okay, I'm not going to talk to that person. I'm not going to trust that person, even though I'm seeing one thing, and then I watch them in other areas, and I think, no, this is not a good space, and I would just quietly leave that space. Wouldn't make no halupa about it, no nothing, just up and leave. And they'd be like, what happened to someone? I'd be gone because I've learned that that's not a safe space. And that's why my friends in real life are the realest, because they had to put up with some shit to get the most authentic, honest version of me. And that's why I prefer people who are direct and will ask me questions right away. Like, you have to at some point put your ego aside and talk to me, because mouth is a trigger.
There's a through line. There's definitely a through line. Safety allows you to be authentic. Authenticity allows you to
Yeah. But I wasn't good at being a safe space. And that's what I learned by being an emotional lurker. Like at some point I have to engage and I have to like allow myself give myself permission again to say, okay, I really want this friendship to work. Yeah. I really want to be in this person's life. And I really want them to know why I feel the way I feel about certain things that come up in conversation. Or if something happens in public and I don't like their response, I have to be honest and give myself permission to tell them, hey, listen, you and me, I think are really good friends. And so I need to be honest with you as a Black woman, what just occurred cannot happen again. Or as a Black woman, this is why I chose to leave this conversation instead of talking to that person, because I know what nagging looks like. I know what dog whistles are. I've had to learn those things to survive. And I don't explain this to everybody, but I'm explaining it to you because I value our friendship. And I like the community that we have. And I don't do that with everybody. Most of them people, I'll be like, okay, you got it, big dog.
And to pair with because discernment is a great word. I'll put that in the carousel. But to pair with that, it's the intentionality. Is that because discernment means to be a synonym of discernment is insight. You're able to look at it from every point of view and be like, imagine. It's imagination, it's insight, it's an in-depth analysis of where you're putting yourself and what you want from it and how you can give back to it. So so that intentionality is also very important. Like, what are you deciding to do as a member of this community? And how are you going to be intentional about making that better for everyone? If you're going to be a part of this community and then new people come in after you, how are you going to make it a safe space for them?
Yeah. How are you going to hold people accountable when the time comes?
It's about knowing how you felt when you were beginning and making sure that those good vibes are passed on. It's absolutely the intentionality of the spirit of belonging. And I think that's what community is. It's you want to belong to something. Everybody wants to belong. Even a lone wolf wants a den to hide in. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I love that y'all. I love words, guys, and I'm glad you guys said discernment, because that's a very good. You have to be in discern what is best for you and best for the group, and that also means removing yourself from situations you don't want to be in, and just doing it for your own peace. And again, being in a community, the duality of being a community member and an individual in that community is so interesting to me. Only because it's definitely a seesaw effect. Are you giving too much of yourself to this thing and you're not looking out for your personal peace? Or are you thinking too much of how you can be a star in this community and not thinking about anyone else around you? So and that's where the intentionality comes in. So those are two great words we brought up, and those are definitely things I think about too.
We're just a bunch of word nerds.
We're nerds, hooray!
Hey, Miriam, I love that for us.
Miriam Webster. That's.
But yeah, that means. And I, for one, as one of the hotties for today, I'm really looking forward to hearing the audience's feedback. We'll post that when this episode drops next Tuesday. We'll post those on our Instagram story. You guys can also share your responses as well, because we want to know what these things mean to y'all too. Again, a lot of y'all, I'm keeping 100. I think a lot of y'all are using these words wrong. So that's another reason why we're going to share. But also, I want to hear from the community. Y'all are, y'all are part of the community here.
I do see more people more often than not being a part of the solution because they're afraid of being lumped into, just kind of stereotypes. Like, there are a handful of, non-Black and women of color who are walking in the right direction and willing to unlearn this shit and willing to have honest conversations with us and willing to learn and willing to be respectful of our experiences and not negate them. So it's not everybody.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you have to be respectful of other people's experiences. I understand that, because otherwise when it's their time to listen to you, you want the same thing. Like, you have to realize that eventually as a community, you want the same things. You have ultimately the same goal.
Right. And if you're operating from that individual mindset, that me-centered mindset, you're working in direct opposition to the goals of the community, like we said earlier. So having the willingness to to communicate, continue to learn and unlearn, like Trisha said, it's part of that upward movement, that uplift of the community. We want to make sure that those who are trying to be agents of change and not agents of chaos are doing the learning and unlearning.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
Although it is fun to be a shit stirrer, I think in times like this, unless anarchy is the name of the game in this community, which we do like to shake things up, and that's why we're here. We're here to shake it up. But we also want to be a part of the solution in that shaking up. So Regina's always right, but especially on this one, it's about, kind of rectifying what needs to be shaking up and choosing our play into the game, as it were, seriously, because it's about how to move the ball down the field and nothing else. It's about growth. It's about expansion. It's about learning. I feel like.
Yeah, you have to be willing to learn, and you have to be willing to hold yourself accountable and the people that you have with you. And quite honestly, in my opinion, if you want to uphold the system, you can't have community, because the system will always win first. And the system is how we got in this mess. So,
and it's a system. And also, it was a system that was built by a community that doesn't exist anymore. That's kind of the evolution of it as well. So when and that's why we say the patriarchy is a community. It's a school of thought. It's an identity that was created when the patriarchy was the only thing that mattered as far as the vote in society. 250 years later, now we're at a crossroads because the things that have been indoctrinated in that community, but also have changed with that community, are not equitable. So we see a lack of community in the way in the country we live in. Is that ideals from a cult are being maligned with the ideals of what we've always said this nation is. So are both lies? Probably at this point, but that's because the country has changed, not just in population, but in dynamics of who's in it. And no one is an immigrant on stolen land.
Well, there we have it. That's it. Yeah, that about does it. So let's do a quick recap, because I want to hear from you, hotties. What was your takeaways from this episode?
So many things, my goodness.
I know we did cover a lot. We had a nice meal today.
Yes, we did. And
we ate.
I think
got a lot of leftovers too, because we've got to talk about the intersectionality of feminism, third wave. We've got a lot to unpack.
Yeah. I think the main thing that I took away for sure is the necessity for the community, like the mindset of the collective and not the mindset of the individual.
Yeah,
truly make community and to uphold community. I really took that.
Yeah,
and I hope others took that away.
Yeah,
I hope so too. I really do.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I love talking to y'all hotties about this, I would love to hear what everyone else has to say. Okay, that one was wild.
Bongos. I also don't know why it was a bongo drum roll with cymbals at the end. It doesn't seem like bongos is a symbol is needed at that.
No, not really. But hey, it happened.
But this is just a little taste of the conversation. This conversation is far from over.
It's
this is just a little taste. I guess my main takeaway, and then we'll keep talking, is that the community is what you make of it. So it's again, I'm going to go back to discernment and an intentionality. How have you sussed out this group? How have you found the group as you've entered it? Do you feel safe? Do you feel comfortable? Or do you feel like it is something you can help grow and bring other people, like-minded people in, and that it's beneficial to everyone involved in the community at large? And, you know, what is your, what's your, I guess I can just say, what's your deal? You know what I mean? How are you, what is your plans and how you plan to engage and act in this community? And do you expect growth, or are you expecting to be seen? Are you trying to be idolized? Like, what's the deal? Are you trying to help move the ball down the field, or are you trying to just make all the highlights about yourself?
Yeah, be honest.
So it's an intriguing duality being an individual in a community and being a community of individuals. Where is the commonality that it's going to make? Commonality is another good word too. Where is the commonality that makes that's going to make the community resonate and make other people feel welcome to join and make it better?
Yeah. Because that should be the goal. That should always be the forefront. Yeah. You should be always striving to make it better, because spoiler alert, none of us are getting out of here alive. And you want what you have worked on, your life's work, as it were, to be the stepping stone for the next generation.
You should be leaving every space better than you found it.
Yeah.
For future generations, and if you don't feel like, for future you, like you should be leaving every space better than you found it. And that starts from being a good community member.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, if you don't feel like you are positively contributing to a space, doesn't mean you have to stay just because you like it. You could always think about refocusing on yourself and like how you got to that place, and if you can be a better community member. Don't stay anywhere that is going to, that you don't find joy in. You don't enjoy, but also don't stay in spaces where you feel like, okay, well, I feel like I've grown as much as I can in this space. Don't just be there to be there, because that's going to impact how others experience the space as well. So don't be, I think there's so many bad actors in so many spaces. I feel like if I have ran the course of my, I don't want to say positivity, but positive influence in a space, I don't want to stay in that, because that's going to fuck it up for everyone else.
Yeah, you're just rotting it from the inside.
Yeah,
you're literally rotting it from the inside out.
One bad apple spoils the whole bunch, but a bushel of hating ass bitches ruins the whole community.
Every single time.
Are you listening, people? Some of y'all are fucking up the game for everybody. One monkey don't stop no show.
Just because you haven't found your purpose in that community doesn't mean you don't have a purpose. Your purpose, you probably have spent your time in that community, and now it's time for you to go forth and do your own thing.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean everyone around you aren't stepping stones to your greater goal. If you have individual goals, they're individual goals. If you're going to be a member of a community, you know, that's what vision boards are for. Your shit. Now, if you want to be a part of the community and make it better for everyone, which is how we kind of banded together. It was about wanting to be seen in this space, and that we weren't the only ones that wanted to do that. Or wanted to be seen and feel relevant and feel like the content was applicable to us in a space that we could enjoy. That's why we banded together.
Basically.
And, you know, a year later, and especially a couple years after we formed like the BTC, like it's been a community that obviously has resonated a lot, where other groups have formed doing those same things within that intersectionality. So I think that's imperative to community too. Like, you can have different little villages, but are those little villages impacting the community, working together, having conversations that are needed? Can they get along? Do you want to get along with other members of your community? That's another thing. Like, so there's so much duality in being in a community and the intersectionality of it all. Like, and like Regina said, we've barely scratched the surface. We have so much information on the Substack for this episode. So lots of links. Also a reading list, because you know how a reading list be. And honestly, the soundtrack for this episode is going to be the soundtrack to Waiting to Exhale. I'm not even
like it's not even up for discussion. But like, this is literally part 1 of this convo. We're gonna have part 2 later this summer, so please stay tuned for that.
And it's going to be an exciting episode later this summer. We're going to be talking to I think I can speak for all of us. Was like, these are members of our community we appreciate and we like, and they want to have the conversation with us. So it's going to be a big, supersized table. It's going to be a picnic, if you will, with the fine folks at the Smut Camp. We appreciate and thank them for agreeing to this conversation. I also want people to know that us at the Unfriendly Black Hotties table do not ask gotcha questions. That is not a part of our editorial process. So we're gonna work with them and create a conversation that is going. And it's not going to be a debate. This ain't Crossfire. This ain't CNN tonight. I'm not Abby Phillips. You feel me? God. I do not suffer fools. I do not think they've got any Kevin O'Leary hearts, but I'm really glad that they want to have this conversation with us. And it should be very, very colorful.
And I'm excited because we'll be talking about intersection feminism over there, third wave feminism,
and they are into it. So if you don't follow the Smut Cap, if you follow us and then follow them as well. You know, it's both. We both have content that enriches the community. So we want to thank them for being as excited as we are for this conversation. And more to come, but it's going to be July-ish.
It's going to be really good.
And I want to end with an exercise that we're going to hopefully do to engage the whole community via our different spaces. But I'd love to hear from each of the hotties one word. How does it feel to be part of a community? This community.
I love that.
Hell yeah.
In one word.
One word. That's the tricky part.
I'd love to start.
Okay.
I think that being a part of this community, in one word, I would like to say, the one word that I would like to say that defines being a part of this community is healing.
Oh, that's a good word.
I love that.
Yeah.
I would have to say peaceful. In a world that constantly tries to take and take and take from you, you finally find people that want you to take the mask off and allow you to speak your piece is very peaceful.
Yeah.
That's my one word.
Cheers. I'll say cheers because it's very much like the theme song of the long-running sitcom Cheers. Sometimes you just want to go where everybody knows your name. You can feel, hey, you're always glad you came. That's one show where there's not any black people, but I love it.
One of us.
I love Cheers. I love Cheers. Ain't no Negroes in it, but I love that shit.
Exactly. See how you can set up community with people that don't look like you? But I love that Regina Starr got in on it. She's getting there.
Yeah. And you're always glad you came. I just feel like community is like Sam slide Norm a beer across the bar. You feel me? Like you can go regardless of the vibe. Your vibe can be rectified if you're having a bad day. There were so many times where I was having a shit day and I'd come into the BQC group chat and my mood was immediately turned around. And that's your community can be small, it can be large, but it's like Cheers. You can get safe, get inebriated. Be inebriated by be inebriated by the love of your friends and your other community members, and you feel full. It's like a good New Year's Eve. You know what I'm saying? You got some good booze, you kiss somebody fine at midnight. It's warm, bubbly feeling. It's like popping a cork on a bottle of good champagne. It's just cheers.
And I love
that's my word.
I felt like healing was my word because I didn't have this. I didn't have a group like this. I didn't have friends.
We talk about that a lot.
And I think we talked about this. I think we talked about this in the first couple of episodes that we did last season. But I personally didn't have this, and being able to come into a space where the commonality was audio erotica, but we came together, we saw each other's differences, we made space for each other continuously, we chose each other every day, jumped into the chat every day, and then continued to build each other up through the creative work we were doing, the art we were doing, how we were hoping to impact others in this community or outside of this community, people's lives, people's personal lives. We saw the growing pains, the ups, the downs, the everything's in between, and it's become second family, like
it really has. Like, we've got new moms in the group now. We've got new writers in the group. New podcasts. Like,
they've experienced a tea time crash out. Like, it's great. It is. I have autism, so I crash out sometimes. But and it's a safe space. Like, well, you don't have to run away. I'm like, I feel like a monster. But
come over here and be a monster with us.
When you can see, when you don't have to be a chameleon, you can show all the sides of yourself and not feel afraid.
Oh yeah. The authenticity was the.
The first time you do show yourself, it's scary.
Yeah,
it is scary the first time you do it, but after that, you're like, oh wow, these really are my people. Like,
these are my people. Like, no, and that was
an imposter in a community. You don't feel like an imposter.
That was the best thing about it. Like, somebody would drop a joke that felt so obscure to them, but then like 2 or 3 others of us were jumping in on the joke. Like, we knew it immediately. Also, just being Black women in the world. Anytime there was something that we related to specifically in our community, when those things dropped into the chat, immediately having that kind of synergy, like knowing that what each other was talking about instantly and feeling like, oh my God,
I'm not crazy.
That's the most important when we're talking about skincare. Like, I love having other women my age, other Black women my age, to talk about skincare with, because we're kind of bougie auntie status anyway, for the most part. And so, like, those are the kind of those like community touchstones. Like, okay, well, this is something that works for my skin. I don't know about this is what makes my melanin popping. And just those are those kind of like little, micro tropes, as it were, in communities that we just kind of are really looking for. It's about identity. And how you can, make you a more well-rounded person. So that's why I love you guys.
We love
that's
you
why we
too.
decided to do a podcast, because this conversation like this are also community.
Yeah.
So I think that's also why we're really excited to, first of all, have a space to talk about this right off just with us, and be happy to talk about it in a way that is cathartic for us, but educational for everyone else. But know that we're not alone. Like, another good thing about this group, like, we weren't alone in all these feelings. And we have so many commonalities in how we feel and how we view things, but they're also different and tailored to us. Like, those are the things that really help you learn and understand other people. Also, interpersonal communications is so important. I think the pandemic fucked us up, but I also think that people are either afraid to say something or way too comfortable to say anything. So I also think community
without consequences, and that's why you need community for people to hold you accountable when you say out of pocket shit. And a lot of people don't have that.
I was good. That is such a good point, T. The pandemic, I feel, got us away from each other. We weren't.
Yeah, online dating has also done that. Social media has. There's been a lot of things that have made things sticky, especially how we talk to one another. But there has to be a mutual respect, and that's one thing I've always enjoyed about our group, is that because we've always sought this, because like Regina said, a lot of us have never had a group like this. I think what is really important in a community, and speaking for myself and how we interact, is that because a lot of us have never had a group like this, we hold it so dear to us that we don't even want to fuck up that vibe for anyone else. So I also think that's a mindset. Like, back
we
to what
built
I said
this
earlier,
brick by brick.
Exactly. Brick by brick, like a slutty algorithm. Ooh, that's merch.
I I live. But yes, it's we know how important what we have is.
It's about being seen, but also being able to see how you can be better, a better friend, a better woman, like a better writer. Like Whips is really smart. It's like, oh, this is some smut I can get behind. Like they're like, and like having those story ideas and like dropping things down, and like you just have a space to say it out loud, and somebody tells you, oh, bitch, you better write that down. Like that's endearing. Like people want everything about community screams acceptance. You want to be accepted. Yes. So you can either be a fuckwad to be accepted, like, you know, Chet the Builder or anybody who's fan of James
just
Shaw,
upholding the
system. Be a fuckwad. You're just upholding the system to be a part of the game. Or you are joining a community that everyone can learn from, and that could be impactful, not just to the people in that community and the people who look like them in that community, but other people who are willing to learn.
Yeah, I've learned so much from y'all because, again, like you said, Regina, we did come back, you know, from audio erotica space. And I just remember thinking like, oh, no, they're going to think my ideas are weird. They're going to think it's trash. And then I slowly but surely started writing some scripts. And I got feedback from y'all. You're like, you know what, this is good. Have you tried doing this and tried doing that? And other people from the hottie community came in and was like, yeah, try this and try that. Or they would share. That's another big thing, too. Nobody was gatekeeping the resources. No, and I was like, I ride with y'all at dawn.
There's no gatekeeping. And maybe there's something so profoundly beautiful about coming into a space that you have never had before with a talent that you didn't fully hone because you were scared. And having that talent not only be validated, but celebrated, uplifted, honed. Like I just feel like so many different
like
folks.
Every honed
is so true. People honing it, yeah.
I feel like I never got to really flex any of the creative muscles that I had because there was a lot of people in my past who kind of just shut them down, and so I was afraid to go and do anything creative again.
That wasn't your community.
And then when I put that out there and I like let the community see it, I let this community see it, it wasn't something that was shut down. Everybody was going through different phases or different levels of the same thing, and we were able to come together and kind of share with each other our growing pains and help navigate, you know, different creative processes and how we did things. And I learned so much from everybody in this group about different techniques, different challenges, different, you know, things that different tools they used. So
how to be more inclusive in your storytelling, like why you like certain things, from toys to pages. Y'all have taught me some shit.
The sexual stuff. Listen, that goes without saying. But
listen, how to actually care for my treasure chest with toys, like
we are some.
All of those things because again, we didn't have spaces like that where we could bounce those kinds of things off of each other. And I don't know how many folks had that in their real life, but you know, for me personally, there was a lot of people I was not able to talk about how fucking feral I got at a certain time or any given time of the month. I'm able to jump into the chat and say that with you guys and get like real.
I
pop off a whole discourse.
I'm glad I can be my slutty. I want my boyfriend to have a boyfriend self with you guys.
Oh yeah,
because a lot of people are like, see, Trisha, you're wild. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, y'all are just like, here this bitch go again. And I appreciate
Tuesday.
Right, it's Tuesday for us.
Tuesday. Trisha, it's 8 a.m.
Trisha, it's 9 a.m. What's going on?
Listen, you are not alone, because sometimes I've gone in the chat and just dropped these videos and I'd be like, I know it's 7 a.m. somewhere, but damn it, I had to share.
My click can only get so hard, you guys.
Listen, like how aroused do you want me to be?
Oh my gosh.
A friendship I will never be with you or we.
The whole helping you to carry on. Call on me.
We'll be there.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid now. Please believe
when
We do not own the rights to any of this music. I'm sure
yes. Y'all already knew that from the way we sing that we don't own the rights to no songs.
Media group or somebody, we do not own the rights to this music.
We don't own shit.
I don't have a job right now. Jesus.
I love that so much. I love that we could burst out in song and
wait till we do it in real life that first time though.
We need a retreat.
Damn, it's happening. It's on the way. It is on the way.
In a castle, so we can order kilted men to come by and serve us.
Listen.
But it's gonna be a rainbow coalition of kilted men. It's not just gonna be big white boys. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have some Asians. We're gonna have some black. It's gonna be a rainbow.
Nice little smorgasbord.
Half Viking, half Scot. Kilted men. It's gonna be great. And a couple of cows, but the cows are for ornaments. The cows won't be serving us. The cows are just there for us to pet.
They're just there for the mood. I'll show myself out.
Let's all show ourselves out. If you like what you heard on today's episode, please come back to it. Hit that follow, hit the subscribe buttons wherever you're currently listening. And please don't forget to follow WEQC on Instagram, Blue Sky, YouTube, Substack, and anywhere that you get your podcasts.
Yes.
Her voice is so lovely, don't you agree?
Yes, you do. You're so messy.
I can't.
I need to add a drum roll, by the way.
I like that.
Right. There's a drum roll.
Yeah. So what's the next episode?
What is the next episode?
Where does Zaddy?
What's the Zaddy?
Oh, I can't wait for this one.
And it's part 1.
We made that a part 1 because
I believe we decided. Yeah, because it would have been a 4-hour episode if we didn't. It would have been 4 hours.
Zaddies are on a tariff because they're running out of stock.
Oh my!
Oh Lord, they don't make them.
We'll talk about that next week.
Yes,
but my what if list is like 60% Zaddies, so we'll talk about. I mean, they're mostly unks.
Yeah, but that makes sense. Yeah.
So,
and we'll talk about it too because somebody had a birthday recently, and I had to go console myself in a corner. Was not what I expected. So yeah, we're gonna talk about
that in episode 5. But this is a great episode.
I see you, Regina. Don't judge me. This is my safe space.
This is a safe space.
Ooh.
It's like Big Bang Theory.
The crowd.
It's crowd noise. It's like Big Bang Theory.
I
kind of laugh track. Okay.
Do we have the living single? The living single laugh track. We got to get on that.
Okay. I gotta add more sounds. All right. I actually gotta do it this time. All right. So all hearts and minds clear.
All hearts and minds are clear.
Yeah. All right. From all of us to you, thanks for listening. Happy Saturday. And if you can't do it right, do it well. All right.
This is a WEQC production. Copyright 2026. All rights reserved.